Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a WZ-111 Model 5A, the Tier 10 Chinese heavy tank, and it's located on the westbourne of Paris under the command of Awppenheimer. Well, it's armed with a 13cm gun, 490 alpha, and an 11.2 second reload, which Awppenheimer's dropped to 9.25 seconds, so he's obviously got a good crew in there. Now, it's a bit of a beast. It's based on the same chassis as the WZ-111, which is basically like the T10. That's why it's got that V shape on the hull. But the big 13cm gun gives it a heavy punch. Okay, well, he's headed off down to the bridge, and his usual spot has actually been occupied by that Progetto. And I get the feeling that, yeah, he's going to give him a nudge in the rear. Say, that's my spot. Fires one into the 430. And he's now jockeying for position with the Progetto, but I think there's space enough for both of them. Now, I know that Awppenheimer, I've seen him play on this map before, and I know he actually plays rather well from this position, but the Progetto doesn't particularly like being shoved in the back. I don't think he realises that Awppenheimer is jolly good at actually getting damage on the enemy from the spot. Okay, the Progetto's backed away and the IS-7's taken his place. And he puts a lovely round into the 430 using heat ammo. So that's two shots he's had into 430, and he's bounced one from E4 and puts another one into that 430. He must be getting pretty fed up by now of getting shot in the side. Now, as you know, Awppenheimer does like using the premium ammo, but it does have the effect desired. It does a lot of damage to the enemy. And on some of these tanks, the only way to guarantee that you will penetrate them is to use premium ammo. You can see now he's got a bit of a problem with the IS-7 now. Instead, fires one at the 430, but he doesn't get a hit there, doesn't get a penetration. At least not that I saw. He's being shoved again by the IS-7, who thinks he's being pushed out. Maybe he doesn't realise that Awppenheimer's got 1.5k damage already. Lining up the shot, just trying to pick the weak spot. And, oh, an enemy tank walks into view. It's a T-57 Heavy, he takes a 451 hit on that occasion. It's a low roll, but that one's a high roll. 528 goes into the E4. So now he's up to 2.4k of damage, and I doubt the IS-7 has that much. And he fires one at the Object 430, but this time around it hits the heavy armour and it doesn't penetrate. Just lots of sparks as it flew. And he fires one into the turret of the T-57 as he retreats. And they may have ammo racked him, because of course that's where the magazine is. Moving, he's changing position. I think he's going to abandon this position for the moment. Meanwhile, they're only one tank down, but there's more targets around this corner. There we got the D3, and he wipes him out with one shot. He's just keeping an eye just on his rear to see where the enemy tanks are in relation to his posterior. Well, there's an E100 over there, but he's not moving in this direction yet. Oh, now he is. And that one goes through his front plate. And the front plate's on the turret. He's got 6 rounds of heat left. Goes for the IS-7, takes him out of the game, but he took a round from the 430U for 463, and that may be payback. There are 2 tanks down on the enemy now, and they have been pushed away from the bridge to a certain extent. Most of the loss has actually been in the field. There's that T-57 Heavy, and he's now out of the game. I don't think he was paying attention to what was behind him. Yes, it's the loss is actually in the field, not really at the bridge. The bridge is still held. It's still sort of like disputed. But no, they lost the field area. And over there we've got, oh, was that a Striv 103? And he actually took a round from him for 413. The 140 gets tracked. He's had a lot of damage to his barrel, and now he's gone. And there's the T57 heavy, another one. And he puts a round into that, but takes one in return. It's a fair exchange because it was an equal amount on both. There's the T57 again, puts one into him. He's one shot now, but that's a high roll, 516. And here comes an Object 268. Now he drives those, so he knows exactly where their weaknesses are. He didn't fire into it though. One round of heat ammo left. And he uses it to good effect to take out the T57 heavy. But that means he's left with only standard AP to take out the 268. Puts one into the drive wheel, but he's going to have to dance around this wreck to stay out of the way of that horrible gun on the 268. Try to track him. This is a non-turreted tank destroyer, but he uses his repair kit. But he's now facing the Striv 103B as well, so he can't really dance, not effectively, and has to use the wreck as cover. Okay, he's took one into the tracks from the Striv. Puts one into the Striv. He's now one shot, but now he's got the 268 in his side, and it's all over. Oh dear. Well, when you're facing two tank destroyers, one of them is a little further away, and of course that one right in your side, there's not a lot you can do. So it was a decent attempt to carry, and he did 7.3k of damage. So it was a huge carry if you think about it. And this is the last enemy remaining, and that's last of his team remaining. It's the FB4005 Stage 2, and he just got wiped out by the Object 430U. Oh dear. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's a first class tanker for Awppenheimer in the WZ-111 Model 5A. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4 exactly. A fire for getting more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 6 in total. But best of all, he picked up a High Calibre. That's an epic medal, and that means his score, even though it's losing, will be equalised with that of the winning team. And his win rate for that game, 10,439, which is super unicum and some. It's massive, actually. It's a really heavy game, and of course it was well worth it, him jockeying for position at that mound of rubble, because he knows how to work that corner really, really well. And so the Progetto and the IS-7 can't really complain. And I'm sure if they look at this team list, they will see exactly why. The highest amount of damage in the game went to Awppenheimer with 7,304 hit points. The IS-7, he only got 936, and the Progetto, nothing. Absolutely nothing in that game. When it came to kills, well, Awppenheimer still got the highest amount. He got 4 kills in that game. 2 of the enemy got 3 kills apiece, and more of the enemy and one of his own team, the Shiphan, managed to get 2 kills apiece. But when it came to base XP, it was unfortunately the enemy team, the Object 430U. He managed to pick up a steel wall and 936 base experience points. The Death Star managed to get 904, and their IS-7 managed 870. But we must note that Awppenheimer wasn't that far behind them with 740 base experience points, and that's because he did so much damage. He fired 22 shots in that game, got 19 direct hits and 17 penetrations, and that's down to the fact that he does use heat ammo, and the heat ammo does have the right effect. It does penetrate the enemy tanks. He did damage of 7,304 hit points, of which 560 were at more than 300 meters. He received 12 hits from the enemy. 6 were penetrations, 6 were non-penetrations, and he blocked damage of 2,330 hit points. He did accidentally cause damage of 1 hit point to one of his team, and I think that was the tanks that he was nudging in the rear while he was trying to get into position on the rubble corner. And he spotted 3 enemy vehicles, damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 4 of them, and did damage assistance of 895 hit points. On a premium count, he earned 97,614 credits. That's a huge total. And he also got the Courageous Resistance Award because he picked up the High Calibre, which is an epic medal. So he gets 6929 off that one. And after fine for 72 credits for nudging the rear of his teammates, he actually ended up with 104,471 credits. And after repair and ammunition resupply, and that's the kicker, because he did use a lot of heat ammo, and that's why he ended up with a loss of 16,009 credits for that game. But there was some compensation. He did pick up 2 awards for getting the High Calibre, and also 14 for the battle. So his total bonds was 16, and he also earned 1,110 XP, 621 for the Courageous Resistance, took away 1,731 altogether overall. Well, yeah, it was an interesting battle. It just goes to show that corner is actually quite powerful. And so long as you've got the right amount of heat ammo, you can perforate a lot of the enemy tanks on the other side of that corner. And so it's well worth considering that tactic if you do have the right tank with the right gun and you want to fight it out on the bridge corner. It seems to work for Awppenheimer most of the time, but on this occasion, I'm afraid it didn't. But he did get the highest damage. There's no doubt of that. So, if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.